Yes, people, welcome back. Never a foul. We're live on the pod. Make sure, guys, you are liking the video. Make sure you subscribe. And we're here to talk about a lot of football. Manchester United, Ugarte, Jadon Sancho, Raheem Sterling, swap deal. Yes, it's 2024, not 1998. This is real news. And then we're also going to be touching on other stuff in the Premier League as well, in the transfer news. Me and Cass are inside. We're joined by Dan, representing Chelsea. It's going to be great to get his thoughts. We've got Mr. Link as well, representing Liverpool. And then we've got Don, obviously, imitating himself down there. The only thing I want to say about Don, people, is that he calls me out in a group chat quite a bit, says he wants to talk football. Then every time I'm on a show at the moment, he's been, you know, dodging and diving. So I don't know. He might be in the Olympics training to be a swimmer. Ducking and diving. There we go. I've got my producers in the background giving me a few, you know what I mean? Yeah, but guys, make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. Also, if you guys want to see a short video straight after this, you can check out the Raheem Sterling and Sancho stuff with me and Cass said. But
by the way, I'm just ready to cast Specs when he gets in as well.
Specs is coming as well. Specs Gonzalez is going to be here as well. But yeah, man, you good?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I look, people are saying Sterling, like they're cussing me. This is something that I want. So I don't know why people think they're gonna come on here thinking that they can run up their bullshit my way.
Why do you want him so much? Like, let's go straight into it, guys. We're going to be talking Raheem Sterling, Jadon Sancho swapped. Make sure you get your comments in, get your super chats in as well. But yeah, Cass is basically said he's all in. He wants it right now. He wants Sterling at the football club. I don't know whether I agree. We're going to debate it. We're going to discuss it. And also see if Dan actually thinks from a Chelsea side, if Sancho is the right move to Chelsea for him. So yeah, Cass, break it down straight away.
He's not even that, man. They got Toney or Osimhen as a choice. That's pissing me off, man.
I know.
Yeah. Now I want Sterling, innit? Because one, yeah, as a United fan, you got to understand, or as you don't even have to understand as a rival, this manager and his club don't want Sancho. It's as simple as that. So what are we gonna do with him? We're just gonna keep moaning and moaning, calling him Jamar and the rest of it, even though he won't get no minutes. So on that notice, we need another body. And for what I like, I don't think Sterling time at Chelsea's been great, obviously. I think Chelsea fans actually annoyed with him, a bit washed. He's not as good as he used to be, don't get me wrong. But what United don't have is someone that can actually hold up the ball and be strong on the ball and actually wants to be direct on a player. How many times have we moaned about players passing it backwards? It don't make it. This is why I'm in favor of this. I just think he's just a good international. Why we talk about Chelsea at sometimes, Dan, you would understand this. You said it yourself. You're bringing players that are young that are not proven winners. And sometimes you need someone that's going to be driven once again, to come into a team where you lack winners. We need a winner in the side. And you know what? I think he needs to prove to himself that he's still a good baller and that he's rated.
Do you know what? I like the way you segued that, because I've been honest. I've said, look, Sterling, yeah, and this is not disrespect to Sterling, but I thought he was going to be maybe at Fenerbahce with Jose Mourinho. I just felt like maybe his time in the Prem was maybe over. And I'm not saying Sterling's shit. I just think that, you know, I can imagine Sterling going to Fenerbahce with Jose Mourinho and just doing his thing there because he was going to go overseas, if it weren't Juve. But when I look at Sterling, right, I always said to people, when he signed for Chelsea, and I don't know if Dan will agree, but I said, Chelsea signed him as a £50 million player to be the main man in the attack. And I always said, no matter what, that was going to be a problem, because Sterling's not the type of guy who is going to be the main guy. You know, he's not going to, you know, get you loads of goals or take a game by the scruff of the neck, should I say, and say, right, going to get Chelsea out of trouble. He worked with a City team that had De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Riyad Mahrez, so forth, right? Aguero even. He was part of the puzzle. You know, David Silva's even there, like that's the saying. You know, he was part of the puzzle. So when he went to Chelsea as the main man, I thought he's going to struggle, or he's going to be found out because he's not used to that responsibility. Now, if he comes to Manchester United, he's failed at Chelsea after 2 years. He's 28 years of age. He's experienced. For me, how I look at it is, do I want Jadon Sancho if Man United were just buying him? No, I would not want Manchester United to go out and buy Jadon Sancho. Raheem Sterling. But if you're looking at just a straight swap, Sancho's not been successful here at Man United.
What do you mean straight swap? They need to give us money as well.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You think we're going to get money?
Yeah, bro, what do you mean? Like, I'm not being funny. We rate Sancho right now at 40 million. There's a want-away, and that's common with a transfer request that's been axed from the squad, axed from the training with everyone else. They probably rate him at 25. I need 10 to 15. I need 15 million on top of that.
I don't know. Do you know what? I don't think we get money and Raheem Sterling for Sancho personally. I'm not saying it's not possible, I just don't think we do. They're on similar wages. I think they've got 2 years or 3 years left on their deals or whatever it is, right? I just think Sterling will come to Man United, like you said, with a point. I like what you said, with a point to prove that people like myself, it says Fenerbahce, people might find that as a disrespect. He's got Premier League experience. You've got Garnacho and Rashford. Garnacho's young, not the decision making's not there yet. You've got Rashford, who we all know roller coaster at the moment, probably going to leave in 10 months. You've got Amad Diallo on the right, who's having his first season starting at Manchester United as a starter. Now, I rate Diallo. I think he's got high IQ. I think he's got balance. I think he can keep the ball well. But can we trust him for 38 games to be the main man? He might need some depth. So Sterling, for me, could come in and deputize with Amad on the right-hand side. That's how I see it. Sterling can use his experience, his bit of a pace and stuff, and his know-how to play with Amad. And you've got Garnacho and Rashford. So do I think it would be a good swap deal for Man United? I think it would be better for us because Sancho's done at the club. He's
Is this your positive? Sorry, you know what? That's my bad. I don't know what happened there. Are you trying to put a positive spin on this? Because that's not what you said in the video. That's not what this brother said in the video.
I don't. No, I admit. I think Sterling's done. I think Sterling he's maxed out. I think he's regressing. But is it hard to be better than Sancho? No, you could put me right wing.
This is Man United PR right here, man.
Because Sancho's not done well at Man United. I don't think Sancho's a bad player, Dan. And I'm gonna come to. I think Sancho's a good player, but styles make fights. It's not worked at Man United. He doesn't want to be here. Ten Hag don't want him. So Sterling will be naturally an upgrade because I think he'll be better than what Sancho has given us. But I don't think both are that amazing. And that's the thing for me. If we're going to do a swap, then cool. If we're going to go out and buy Sterling, then I'll say it's a problem. That's where I am with it. Like, it's a hard one for me, but I can't lie. When Cass done the edit, Sterling does suit the Man United kit. But Dan, what are you saying when you look at it?
That's why you want it, Dan. He believed it because he saw the edit of Sterling in the Man United kit and said, yes. Run it up. He just got paid by people don't know this. Ty just got paid by Man United in his PayPal account. Yeah, it come through about 20 minutes ago. They saw the video and said, we need some of that PR. No joke. Go on, sorry, Dan.
Yeah, look, I think Sterling obviously isn't wanted at Chelsea. So for him, he needs a change of scenery. Definitely, it's going to happen. I don't see him sticking around.
So he's on both do? Both?
Yeah, I think they both do. Yeah, I was going to come to that. I think Sancho is obviously probably not wanted at Manchester United anymore, but the way they've kind of gone about it is probably in a more professional manner than how Chelsea have gone about it with Sterling, albeit it wasn't at sometimes last season. I think they kind of sort of built some sort of professional relationship back up to the point where he was able to train with the squad and obviously move him on. I don't know if it's the right deal for Chelsea. I don't really understand the business if we're signing players like Pedro Neto. I don't see if there's room for him. I don't see if we sign João Felix as well, where he fits in, if he's going to be considered a 10 or a wide player. I think Sancho needs the change of scenery. I think he's priced himself out probably of a Dortmund move where I think he feels the most comfortable. So he wants to stay and challenge in England. Chelsea are obviously going to consider him if they feel like he's an opportunity or there's profit to be made there. So if we can offload a player that we no longer want and bring in Sancho and he's willing to sort of fall into this new wage structure we've got, you take a chance on it. But we're getting to the point where it's excessive, really, to be honest with you, Chelsea's squad and what they've got going forward. I mean, the fact of the matter is unless they move Mudryk on as well, I don't see where Sancho really
this is where, and this I'll throw it back at you guys, is that
you've
got Pedro Neto, right? Play left and right. But let's put him on the left. You've got Pedro Neto and potentially João Felix, right? You've got in the number 10, I'll say you've got Palmer, Felix, and Nkunku. And then on the right-hand side, you've got Maresca, who I think is just a nailed-on right winger. And then he could maybe be the guy with Sancho that they have the right wing and they battle that out. So you've got Neto, Felix, and Nkunku potentially. In the 10, you've got Palmer, Felix, and Nkunku. On the right, Maresca and Sancho. Then up front, obviously, then we're talking Jackson and potentially a move for Ivan Toney now. So don't you think Sancho could come in and be the comparer for Maresca to nail down on the right-hand side? That's how I see it.
Yes, McTominay, here we go.
Yes, get it there.
Yeah, I think so. I see what you're saying in terms of Sancho having a place, but for me, Jadon Sancho is the type of player that needs to be going to a team where he feels respected, where he feels like he has a home. And we've seen Sterling was the type of player that needed that as well, and he never came into a good scenario at Chelsea. Every season there was an issue for Sterling. I feel like Sancho would be in a similar situation. Is 1 week he might be in the team, 1 week he's not. And we've seen what that's done for Mudryk as a young player, needing game time and being able to play.
You feel like the best you're going to get out of Sancho is actually having regular starts, basically.
Yeah, I think so. And I think we saw that for Dortmund. I think he went and found somewhere where he felt like he fitted in. Yeah, I understand if Sterling goes, then there's room for him. But Sterling's been battling with Mudryk for a position all of last season. Sancho will just be doing the same. I don't see Sancho coming in and lighting it up to the point where he makes a position his own either. I think Madueke obviously has started the season really well. So he's obviously trying to lock down that right-hand side. Cole Palmer and Kunku, João Felix, they're all good enough to be starting for Chelsea, in my opinion. So which one of them sort of bows out, or does Cole Palmer move out to the right and Kunku slots in somewhere? Look, we're talking about signing Toney and Osimhen. That straight away means that one of those three isn't going to be playing as a false nine if you sign a Toney on Osimhen 100%. As well. So Cole Palmer, we've already seen him move out to the right. For me, I just feel like adding one more name in there sort of complicates things, where we've already added Neto. Look, if Sancho comes, I want him to do well. But for me, there are other issues that I still think should be a priority in Chelsea's team.
So would you say then, before I bring in Mr. Link, right, and smash up the likes, people, as well. There's over 600 of you in here, so make sure you do run up the likes, whether you think the Sancho is a better deal for Man United or Chelsea. But what I want to ask you, Dan, is do you think if this deal does take place, right? Because I personally think it'd be more of a swap deal or both on loan. I don't think we get money plus this or anything like that. Do you think Man United have got a better deal out of it if we get the Sterling and you got the Sancho?
It's difficult to say because we all know how good Jadon Sancho can be on his day. If Jadon Sancho performs as well as he did for Dortmund last year in the Premier League, we know how much his value will rocket up. He's obviously younger as well, and there's a serious player in there. When I look at how we played against Wolves, I see room for Sancho in the side. I also see room for Sterling in the side, if I'm being honest, because I thought Mudryk was woeful for 45 minutes. So that kind of confuses me. The only way I'd say Man United get the better part of the deal is if bringing in Raheem Sterling elevates Marcus Rashford to the level that he was at 2 seasons ago with a bit of competition. Because what's Sterling? 29 going on 30 probably in a couple of months. I don't think he's the type of player that he was when Chelsea even thought when they were signing him.
Agreed.
So he's definitely, like you said, regressed. I think he offers 10 goals a season probably in the system that it looks like Chelsea are using and Ten Hag's using, that counter-attack style of football. I think if he's playing in a Manchester City system or an Arteta system, I think you're looking at 15 goals plus, because I still think his movement's elite. I just think he isn't probably suited to that counter-attacking style.
And that's the thing, though, with Man United, for example, we rely on sort of individual moments. And this is my problem. We rely a bit more on individual moments. There's no sort of formal patterns of play. So we're going to look at Sterling to get the ball and say, right, Sterling, we're going to all be watching it as neutrals or Man United fans. Right, what are you going to do with the ball? Rather than at Man City, like he said, when he was arriving at the end of the back post, or there's a few passes and he just runs onto the latch ball and stuff. He's the final tick in the box. At Man United, it's going to be like, right, Sterling, we're watching you closely now. What can you do here?
One day,
I don't know.
Don is going to let me design his room, for one, in the back, because I swear I just got vision for that. And second of all, what I've been saying about Sterling is the same way, like I said on the video, is Man United don't have one winger that wants to actually make a back post run when we cross the ball, just to put in the back of the net and be annoying. Chelsea's got about 4 of them already. But Madueke does it. We got none. The only one that doesn't do it for them is, they all do it for them. All of them. We got no back post runners. Ahmad don't do it enough. Rashford is, I don't know, man. He's having battles with himself at the moment in terms of confidence. Garnacho.
What's he doing?
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. You know what I'm saying? You just don't know.
Hey, I can't lie, bro.
He goes offside. So,
bro,
Don, welcome to the show, by the way, obviously, because I know you've been ducking me for a while. So, no, welcome.
Bro, I've been busy, man. I was just in Sainsbury's right now, man. Quickly rush home for you. I gotta go back out after that as well. But bro, listen, we don't need Sancho. I'll be real. We don't need Sancho in it. But Sancho was the player. Ty, you're spot on with what you say in terms of where I think we're going to play him. Because if you look at our right wing options, Palmer, I prefer him centrally, and you guys can clearly see why, bro. When he's played down the middle, he's our best creator, bro. He's our most creative player, right? Down the middle, Palmer is A1. Not to say he's dead on the right. I just prefer him down the middle, right? Neto, if he starts, for example, on the left, you're going to have Palmer down the middle and Madueke right wing. Looking at the bench, who have you got that can come on for Madueke on the right, bro? Because Sterling's not in the team anymore. Yeah,
That's why I
that's
said
why I'm looking at
Sancho.
it. Mudryk is not a right winger. Felix is not a right winger. Nkuku's not a right winger. I don't want to be playing too many people out of position where they're not comfortable, because when they start to when they're not performing, people are gonna start cooking them again. I don't want that. You know what I'm trying to say? So if Sancho does come in, I do think he'll get enough games on that right hand side with Madueke. I think that will be the alternation. I think him and Madueke will be switching it up. And then next year, that's when it's going to be like, okay, what's going to happen now? Because
getting rid of Mudryk, etc., etc.
Exactly. If Mudryk doesn't fix up, he's gone. That's what I'm saying. After this year, I think they're going to get rid of him if he doesn't sort it out. But then you've got the likes of Esteval not coming in. That's where it's like, okay, what's really going on? Tyreek George at the minute, I would like to see him get minutes, but maybe the owners want more guarantees that we're going to win. Because, bro, these guys are ambitious, bro. That's one thing that they're showing everyone again. They are very, very ambitious. And anyone that's deluding themselves into thinking it's just all about profit, you're lying to yourself, bro. Two things can be right at once. They do want to make profit on a lot of these guys. They want to flip a lot of these guys. But at the same time, they want to win as well, bro. We would not be looking at the likes of Osimhen if we don't want to win. The likes of Olise if we don't want to win.
By the way, you're about to make an offer.
If we don't want to win.
Yeah, you're about to make an offer. Damaso just said.
Yeah, and apparently we're about to make an offer. What, you're telling me we're going to make an offer for Osimhen and Toney?
I think one's your A and B basically. One's A,
one's B. I don't think we're going to make an offer for both. But
no. One's A, one's B. It's one of the other.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with both, innit? And what these lot have showed me is that they are not going into deals with just one option, right? When we wasn't able to get Calafiori, we went straight away to Vega. No one realized what was going on with Vega. We just went and signed him. Yeah, Neto, for example, we missed out on Olise. Neto was in the background for about 3 months. Apparently, was negotiating for 3 months. They kept that out of the media. None of us knew, bro. Me and Dan will tell you, bro. There was zero links to Neto. Yeah, I wasn't even looking at him because I've got PTSD about injuries. I didn't want to bring someone else in who's got all these injuries. But obviously, like I said, they've overlooked that and thought about the quality more. You know what I'm trying to say? And like I told you lot already, I said Maresca, I believe, will help our team minimize injuries, Dan. I said this to you many times. Already we're seeing that we're not having as many injuries as what we had before. And I know the season's quite young, but Poch went into the season with 6 injuries, bro. Yeah? 6 of them motherfuckers. You know what I'm trying to say? Now it's Lavia and Reece James, who's always out anyway. And Lavia played the first game as well. So, bro, slowly but surely, you guys are going to see what I was talking about with Maresca and the owners and what they're trying to build. Too many people have short-term, they're looking at things too short-term. You got to look at things long-term, bro. What we're trying to build long-term. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I think you make a good point, Don, because obviously we saw it against Wolves when players suddenly starting to look a bit tired, and he knows we've got Thursday night coming up and that sort of schedule, Thursday, Sunday. He went, right, Felix, Neto, on you go. Like, obviously, Neto had 45. Felix had, best part of half hour. And look at the impact they had. That bringing off that type of quality off the bench, adding Sancho only adds to that, doesn't it? So you're not going to moan if you're bringing off Sancho. And if Sancho goes and cooks in the Conference League and we win it because of him being part of that sort of squad and starting in that competition, I'm not going to moan. I'm not going to moan.
That's my point, Dan.
I think Sancho will be as hungry as Sterling would be to perform at Man United. Sancho will be as hungry to prove the Premier League right or wrong.
Bro, Sancho was one of the best young players, right, coming through at Dortmund before he joined Man United. And when he went to Man United, bro, because I loved Sancho, he's my type of player. Technical, very good on the ball, nice link-up play, gets you goals, gets you assists. Very creative. That's what he is, right? And he can finish the ball as well. When he was going to Man United, bro, I was disappointed in the brother. Like, I know him, yeah? Because I was looking at that team, fucking Oli, right? You already know how Man United already sold Pogba a dream. We're going to build around you and whatnot. They were never going to build around this guy. And I was looking at it thinking, yo, his team are obviously telling him to go there for the money. 350k a week at what, 21? How is he going to turn that down, right? But that was the wrong move for him. The likes of Neto, the likes of Felix, the likes of Palmer, they're the sort of ballers that Sancho wants to play with. Bro.
He wants to play with, yeah. I think he can get the best out of him. Yeah, in the pockets, little 1-2s, combinations. Exactly,
the little combinations, all of that, in and around the box. That's how he wants to be playing. He doesn't want to be playing this chaotic, counter-attacking Man United.
The only thing, though, which I'll bring Mr. Link in now as well. Guys, make sure you're running up the likes, by the way. 150 likes. There's 800 of you in here, so we're not even at half yet. Please make sure you just hit the thumbs up. It makes us reach other people that might not know about the channel, and it helps us reach new audiences. So please run up the likes.
You could just say, all right, let me see something. Look, right now, the likes are on 149. Like this video if you think Sancho if you think Sterling's an awful deal going back. Let me see how many likes run out.
There you go. And then I want to bring in Mr. Link because obviously like Don said, he agrees with me in terms of, he can play on the right hand side. Him and Madueke could be, rotating. But then Dan had the sort of caveat saying, okay, if he does that, then great. But also, Sancho is one of them players that needs regular football. He needs regular starts to get his sort of wheels, get the bus turning, basically.
Right.
Yeah. Where do you see this deal for Sancho, but also for Sterling as well?
Well, the first thing is the wages. So it all sounds good, but the wage impact is why I think both of you are doing that. You guys want Sterling's wages off at Chelsea, and you want Sancho's wages off at Man U. So is it a straight swap on wages? Because I know Chelsea has a new wage structure. That's my first thing. But I did want to bring up Dan's point because that's something I would ask not only of Sancho, but all these recruits coming in. Because it's a good problem to have as far as squad rotation and depth. But what happens when you settle on your best lineup? And if I ask 4 different Chelsea fans right now, their best lineup in their head, with Osimhen coming or without, is going to be different. And with those different lineups comes a different style of play. And so the options are good, but also too many options can cause a problem for certain managers. You see Klopp, Arteta not being able to deal well with having too many options and with having a fully fit squad. What happens if Maresca does his job, keeps everyone fit, and then you have 25 players who are arguably elite, world-class, whatever you want to use as a moniker.
You got 7
that
forwards,
aren't playing.
at least.
You got 7 forwards.
You sell them. You do what Man City do. You sell them and get somebody else in if they're not happy. Simple as that.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
Bro.
What we need to do is to start winning. Yeah. With Man City, bro. When these lot were winning, you never heard Mares.
The winning's gonna come though.
You never heard Foden saying a thing, right? Players will start to get mad disgruntled in that, yeah, if they're part of a team and they feel like they're not really contributing. But if Maresca's using the team correctly, like what Dan's saying, we've got a lot of games in that, yeah, a different team for Conference League and a different team for cup competitions, switching it around, bro. That's what I want to see. And for me, I'll be real, I don't think we're going to be seeing the same lineup week after week because we've got too many options.
You won't, right? Exactly. You won't. But that's the thing. It's
going to be like Pep Roulette. I think there's going to be a few players in there like Palmer, who are going to be guaranteed to start, I reckon. I think the likes of the keeper, when we change the keeper, hopefully Jorgensen will be guaranteed to start. But certain man, bro, I can see them coming in and out. Neto might not start a certain game. Madueke might not start a certain game. I can see certain guys coming out of the team, for real, bro.
They need to be managed as well, Don, because we know that Madueke at PSV had bad injury issues. We know that Neto's barely played 20 games in a Premier League season in the last 2. So these players need to be managed. We've seen Saka at Arsenal. Arsenal fans are crying out for a replacement for him for some games. We don't want Palmer to suffer burnout. If Palmer has to rest, he has to rest. And we've got Phoenix to come in and Kunku. So I can see why adding Sancho into this team works in some way. I just worry what Sancho you'd be getting, I think, as we all might do after what we've seen in the Premier League. If you get in the Bundesliga, Sancho, you're getting an unbelievable talent, a player that looks great. The way we set up under Maresca in that game against Wolves and the Servette game midweek, I see Sancho fitting in. The way we played against Manchester City, I don't feel like that's a place for Sancho to be. And I think we've seen United play like that too often, where they sit back and negative football. We saw Dortmund free-flowing, counter-attacking football, and Sancho thrives in that.
For me, Dan, listen, the past 3 years, we have suffered that, we have suffered as Chelsea fans.
I feel that. I felt that.
Wait. Nah. Don, do you mind rewinding that? Do that again.
Bro, we have suffered, bruv. Last season, Dan. Last season, bro. Look at the bench. Look how I was getting mocked. Oh, who's this guy? He's even got a face on FIFA. All of these things that they were saying to us, about our players, right? We had a manager that if we need to score a goal, he's bringing on fucking Alfie Gilchrist, bro. And players like that, Cassidy. I want to be seeing the quality that I was seeing against Wolves, bro. We bring off Mudryk, we bring on Neto.
But they were, to be fair to Poch, they were, because of injuries, probably due to his own tactics, they were the players that were left at his disposal, as well as what the board had sort of offered him.
But if we still had Poch, bro, I guarantee if we still had Poch, we had injuries again this season, bro. Already.
I'm not denying that. I think you're being slightly harsh on Pochettino. Look, we both know how Pochettino did. But what I'm saying is, I think Maresca's been given serious backing here in terms of disposing of players he doesn't want, in terms of players coming in. I think they backed Maresca more than they ever did Poch, probably because they like the man.
They believe in him. Because they believe in his vision.
I think you're
right. They believe in his vision, and the vision aligns, Dan. You can't be giving the keys to a guy that wanted Gallagher to be starting week in, week out as our captain, bro.
That's
And
the
giving
thing.
the keys
but
to a
this
guy
is the
that thinks Ben Chilwell's a left winger, bro. How?
But this is the thing now with Chelsea. I look at you even look at the attack now, and like Link was saying, in terms of the numbers, you got to try and keep everyone happy. But then Don's like, look, we've got confidence, we're going to rotate. You have to be easy making top four. But what I think is going to happen with Chelsea, which is going to be interesting, is that I feel like you now got a pool of attackers at Chelsea, Cass, that are like, you're gonna when you play your Fulhams, your Brentfords, and everyone at home. Like this weekend, you got Crystal Palace, where he's probably going to be leaving and going to Newcastle. I look at Chelsea, and that should be like an easy win. I think you go to Wolves like you did on the weekend, away from home, in these type of teams, and you're going to outscore them. Don, I said it to you the last show I did before holiday. You're going to win some games 4-2, 5-3. Look at the 6-2 against Wolves. It's happened already because you're going to concede goals because your defense is still maturing, getting together. But then you're going to outscore teams because your attack, fundamentally, it's absolutely crazy. But then when it comes to the big games, Cass, this is what I'm thinking with Chelsea before we do touch on Sterling and move on, is even though they've got a great attack, Cass was saying earlier before the show is, what are they going to be like off the ball? That must be your concern. So how do you think Chelsea now deal with it in big games?
I think why I don't measure with the Wolves, because against Wolves, they won the ball high up the pitch the most. Actually, it was a dumb figure. How about that? The figure was so dumb. And it got to the point where Wolves gave up.
Let him land down, Don.
But
I'm not going to say anything.
I mean, off the ball, it's more like, it's about how quickly can they get back in shape. I think it's all down to the defense and him picking the correct back three, in my opinion. Because I know it's a short sample and people might not like it, but Vega makes that defense night and day better defensively. That man is a unit. People are going to say Cucurella, right? And I understand it. But instantaneously, Levi Cole looked a little bit more sure that he doesn't have to do so much covering. Cucurella is a good player and probably a great option, and he can still play. But you just need that little sample size to know when a player he just looks like he's good. He's good. It's as easy as that. Yeah,
I told these lot about him. They try and laugh at me about my white scout. I told these lot he's a good player.
12 and a half million, was it? 12.5 million.
Yeah, bro.
Well.
So that whole Calafiori,
and no one knew him.
Calafiori, there you go, bro.
No one knew who this guy was, bro.
And
but on that time, you ask a good question about what Chelsea going to be like off the ball against the bigger sides, bro. We saw a sample of it last week against Man City, bro. Off the ball,
and you were quite
very good.
Actually,
we were very good. We screened Caicedo and Lavia as a pivot, screened very well in front of the centre backs. Yeah, we conceded from stupid moments like we always have, right? At concentration at the back. Yeah, that goal that Haaland scored, the first one. Levi Cole needs to be a little bit more aggressive there. Fofana was ball watching before the ball went to Bernardo Silva, right? That's concentration over there. And then the second goal, Sanchez, bro, just giving Fofana some shit pass. It gets cleared out. It was a shit clearance. But other than that, bro, I was happy with how we defended in that game. I thought we nullified Man City quite a lot. And if you go check the stats, they were very, very close, bro. Very, very similar on both sides, right? So I don't think it's going to be a game of ping pong against the bigger sides. I think it's going to be a little bit more controlled against the bigger sides, like a Man City. I think for me, he gave Man City too much respect because he didn't play direct wingers like Madueke and
then his subs were a bit off. He put Enzo in the 10. And
I think in words of Terry Flewers, Chelsea are scary.
No, they are.
I don't give a shit.
Scary. When you're bringing Felix on, Nkunku on, and Pedro Neto with 3 subs, I'm sorry, that's a madness. It is.
And then signing Osimhen as well.
I do want to run up the likes quickly, guys. There's 235 likes, 870 of you in the building. Please make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you subscribe. It costs nothing, so please do that. Super chat here from Black Sheep. He says, any you making a case for Sterling is a waste man. Raw, well,
so Cass must be a waste man.
Yeah, that's
I'm
he's watching. Big up for the super.
You know
chat,
what? I'm not even going to degrade myself to even as a joke.
FTV says Maresca criticized Madueke's training. He replied with a hat trick. Eric Ten Hag said the same thing about that fraud. Troops look alike. Wait.
Oh my word.
People support that fraud. Sell that. Sorry, that's.
I'm in agreement, man. Just sell him if you ain't
JS7 plays well. He stays in rotation. Doesn't work out. Easy to get 30-40 million for him on lower wages next summer. Low risk, high reward. It is scary hours. Yeah, guys, make sure you do like and subscribe. Link, just before we move on, we are going to discuss other things as well. Sterling did play at your football club, of course, as well, Liverpool, in his sort of time coming through the ranks. If he does go to United, how do you see it panning out? Do you think on your gut instinct it will be a success, or do you think it fails?
Better than Chiesa.
It fails.
It fails.
It fails.
Better than
It fails.
Kaiser.
I'm
Better
gonna
Kaiser.
disregard Cast there, but it fails. So Sterling, wonder kid, all that. So at 19, Sterling was playing the 10 and a 4-1-2-1-2 carried by Luis Suarez. Okay, so that's the first thing. He had all the space in the world to dribble at people. My thing is Sterling has not developed his touch or decision making since he's got to Pep. Like Sterling's numbers are great, but he's a back post merchant, and that's where I can see why it would work. And Cass said that earlier. It's like you don't have anyone that does that. But at the same time, Sterling is not better than any of your wingers. You can make the case for Rashford, but if Rashford had the slightest improvement in form, he's more effective than what Sterling would give you, at least from a goal scoring standpoint.
Well,
in my opinion.
I think a little bit
You think
different.
Sterling's our best winger if he comes, Cass?
No, Ahmad's the best right wing in the world. What's the
Garnacho's better than Sterling at this point.
No, he's not.
That's my
No, he's
opinion.
not.
He really is.
I don't look at Sterling.
He really
is.
is.
I'm not the biggest Garnacho fan. That's a great. I think.
Nah, he's not.
They have the same decision making.
No,
Yeah,
They have the exact same.
Garnacho is more impactful.
I'm not in.
Yes.
mentality.
I don't subscribe to
He's
this.
10
And
years
I'll tell you
younger.
why I don't subscribe to this.
Hey,
Yeah.
Cassie might, but Garnacho is better than Sterling. He is.
Garnacho's better than Sterling. I don't like Garnacho at all. I don't rate Garnacho at all. He's better than Sterling.
I'd have him in the starting level.
There is bad diarrhea going into my ears. But anyways, why I don't subscribe to this is because most attackers in the last 2 years, bar one player in Cole Palmer, has been dog shit at Chelsea. So we are rating on a measurement of Chelsea not really being great going forward.
Wait, say that again.
I said, bar Palmer, your players going forward have not been that great at all.
Jackson's been good. He's been better than Sterling.
He's been good, but not great. I'm talking about he's been better than.
He outperformed Sterling.
At the same time, I just don't think it's the case because I would rather see Sterling with a couple number 9s. I don't think we can judge Sterling or most wingers that are like Sterling, a proper out and out winger without proper number 9s.
Yeah, but Cass, the problem with Sterling here, right? It's like it kind of sounds like you're just saying it's a Chelsea problem, bro. It's a fucking RAHEEM problem, bro. Because the guy struggles to do basic things on the ball, right? I kept telling you last season, our left-hand side is grenade football. Because every time he's getting on the ball, he's struggling to do the basics, bro. Take a touch and just bring it down. I heard you in the car when I was in my car. You said, "Oh, we need someone that can hold up the ball." Brother, that guy holding up the ball, the amount of times he gets pinched, he gets pickpocketed, bears, right? What I used to like about Sterling was how he used to take on his man. He can't even do it consistently.
Yeah, he can't do that now.
He can't do it consistently.
I don't know, man.
And he wasn't that great at it to begin with.
He gets tackled. He runs into blind alleys. In front of goal, he's selfish. He's not a good finisher.
This is how I put it with Sterling. He's just better off the ball. It's his movement that makes him successful.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. I'm not. If you can be great at that, you're great at that. But he was at Man City where, I'm not gonna lie, you're looking through the microphone glass. You know. That's what I
have to ask though, Ty. That's what I have to ask.
Everything's like cold. It's nice. At Man United, it's bumpy.
But this is the thing.
I don't give up on him.
But the thing is, Ty, yeah, look, it's very clear for me and Dan, yeah, to see what Maresca's trying to do with our team. He wants more control, wants more possession. Yeah. With United, it seems like you want to just press from the front. And
yeah, we're definitely we want to play a higher line. We want Delete and Euro.
Exactly. So
you want chaos. You want chaos.
It's chaos. We kind of want to just be having teams pen back in their own half and try and win the ball, quick turnovers.
Right. And then let me tell you another thing about Sterling as well, bro. Off the ball, yeah. You think Rashford is lazy? You think Rashford's lazy, bro?
Sterling's not running unless he's getting the ball.
Sterling off the ball, he doesn't give a shit. Yeah. We conceded a couple goals last season. Remember the goal we conceded against Brentford, Dan, where Cucurella was shouting at him? Yeah. Because Sterling didn't want to track his man. Off the ball, it's like he's not part of the game anymore, bro.
But every winger's done that in their moments, though. Come on. You're telling me that
Madueke was running back. Madueke was running back, yeah. In the 90th minute.
Times when Madueke is not running back. There's gonna be a time where Salah might not be running back.
No, but Ty. Bro, listen. When you go to games, yeah, it's easier to see off the ball what these guys
so you're telling me, right? So you think consistently, if Sterling comes to Man United, we're gonna watch him, me and Cass, not running back at all. You think we're gonna watch him and it's gonna come?
I didn't say at all. It's not gonna be enough.
Because that's
my point. It's not gonna be enough. He will do it here and there, but when he can try cheat his way out of not doing it, he will do it. That's my problem with it.
I think Sterling. This is for me. I know we got. I think Sterling's a very good. I think he works under us. I think he works under us.
I think for me right now, Sterling would be a good option off the bench because I was actually happy with him to come off the bench. Yeah, last season he came off the bench. He got an assist for Burnley when we played Burnley. He got an assist against Leicester when he came off the bench. Not Leicester, sorry. I forgot the team we played. He came off the bench, he got an assist, yeah. So I didn't mind him doing that, right? And he might be a good option off the bench for Man United. I think he'll get more numbers than Rashford, in all honesty, yeah. But I don't think the numbers are going to be to the point where it's like, oh my God, we've got a steal here.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be.
He's past his best. Look, we've all agreed he's past his best, Cass. But what he's going to do, he's going to be better for us than Sancho, because Sancho, like we said, is a good player, just hasn't worked at United. So he's going to come in and do better than what Sancho does. Because it's not hard. Don could be on the wing for Man United and probably have more of an impact because it's just the way it is. And then Sancho is going to go to Chelsea, where he's going to compete with Madueke. And you've got two options on the right-hand side with then Nkunku, Felix, Palmer and that doing the middle and the left-hand side. And I think that's that really. But it's going to be mad interesting. I know there's a lot of other things we're going to discuss as well. Guys, make sure you are running up the likes. There's 900 of you in the building. Make sure you check out all the other guys' content as well. Big up Link, Dan, Don, and Specs has just arrived in the building. Cass, man, what next topic do you want to run with?
No, but it's still on the same kind of topic with Chelsea at this moment of time is, bro, the spoiled for choice. Actually, can we interject quickly? Specs, your club is dusty, like dusty. Eddie Howe, man. Oh, my, like that's a quick one because we're gonna have to talk about the Osimhen stuff. Yeah, it just when it come out with Damaso and obviously Toney. Your club,
Specs, his face is killing me.
This guy, yeah, this. Mr. Isolation, it's not raining in Newcastle for you, it's dry. No Ethiopian kings coming over to make it rain there, G. So on that notice, hold that one, yeah? Get your centre back and keep it moving because you're not getting nothing else.
May I put in this transfer request yet?
Wait, may I speak or are you just telling me off and we're going to move on?
Gordon put in that transfer request yet or?
I don't mind, bro.
Is that tomorrow?
Life about Ashworth is sweet, man.
You know what? Specs got it right. He said they were
Paul
going to lose to Bournemouth. He knew. He said they were going to lose to Bournemouth, even though they got a draw.
Yeah, I said we got a draw. I said
Tottenham. They brought Tottenham to Newcastle. I can't believe it.
It's a bogey team. Bournemouth are a bogey team. But I'm more concerned about behind the scenes. If I'm going to be honest, I don't think it's all rosy between Eddie Howe. Ever since Amanda stably left, I don't know. It's on a different page levels. This whole Mark Gurley thing stinks. I don't want him anyway for 70 mil.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. That's crazy money.
Like right wing's not happening. They asked him today. Yeah. He said probably not with no signings. Probably not. Maybe that's how he's moving. And I don't know what's going on, bro. If you sign no one, I'm gonna start.
Okay. Let me ask you realistically, right?
70 million.
I want to see what Specs Jenny thinks, right? So you get Guehi that's gonna come in. Let's go with that. He's gonna probably land for 70 million, right? You look at Newcastle last year. You got top four. Respectable season the year before, and then last year you struggled in the Champions League with the squad depth, and in the league the form failed.
And
this year in Europe, and the injuries. This year, obviously you're not in Europe. You can focus on the Premier League and stuff like that. If you do get Guehi, you don't sign the right winger. Where are you looking at? You not finishing this season? Like realistically, right now, based on when you look at other clubs around you and the business they're doing,
you know what, bro?
Line. Where are you? Are you making Europe?
It's a tricky one because we could all say. Oh, people are signing players, yeah, but it's not always green on the other side. Sometimes you can sign players and it goes all tits up. Do you get what I'm saying? I just feel like our squad as it is, it's not. I'm not really concerned about the squad as it is complete. Like, obviously, we need to add on new faces. You got to freshen it up. It's more about just a lack of activity, and it doesn't seem rosy behind the scenes. I'm more concerned about what the spirit is behind the scenes because that's you can have all the players you want, bro. If the energy levels ain't right or something's kind of a bit left or toxic, it can lead down to the players. You get me? Kieran Trippier situation. You got all this talk about that. Right wing, Mark Gurley, Fabian Schär is out obviously for a few games. So, like, when you say realistically where we're going to finish, if you took away these 2 games before the season started, I said top 4. I still say top 4. It's a long season. Yeah, I said that with chest. I said that with chest. I remember, bruv. I said the same thing. When we did finish 4th and people laughed.
No.
Keep players fit.
He's getting set.
Majority of the players.
He's getting set.
From these 2 games, it looks funny. That's why it's singing.
I know. Specs. You know what the
it's a long season, bro. Remember that, bro.
It's a long season. The mad thing is, right? Yeah, Link. How I look here, right? I know we're going to talk on Chelsea as well again, but you look at Newcastle. This time, was it last year or the year before? They were papping up Tottenham. Was it 4 goals in the first 30 minutes?
They'll beat them this weekend.
Yeah. And last season.
Last season. But you look at it now, and you're kind of thinking, Spurs could go there and get a result. Am I right or wrong, Dan?
I think most Newcastle fans think that from what we've seen in the first 2 games. The Southampton game.
But that would show a regression, because I don't think Spurs like Specs, let's be real. They've got Solanke, who is the number 9 they need. They've got Bergvall and these players come off the bench. It's not like, oh my God, Spurs have got loads of new starters. They've just got Solanke. But when you look at it now, you've got Spurs that might be going to Newcastle on Sunday. And with the way Specs is talking and sort of the vibe we're getting, Spurs are probably thinking, we can go there and get a result. I don't mind who goes link or down.
Of course. Spurs, well, St. James is a bit different anyway. But Spurs are going to want to get a result. And this is probably the best time for them in terms of morale from our point of view. Probably the best time to go to St. James's and try and I'm a bit nervous, bro. I'm not going to lie, in the sense of it's just don't look right. And our main guys like Joe Linton was complete different player from the
crap on Sunday, by the way. He was coming like Cleberson.
Bruv, I thought he literally was smoking weed, drinking rain and he no big man team.
He said he was thinking about Cardi.
Bro, all of that. Like, you get me? Like, when they're high, bro, like, and like men play on Sunday, but they bash like whatever. It's that men know what I'm talking. It's that level. Joe Linton was taking a piss.
Crap.
You're taking a piss. But other than that, we'll see how it goes, man.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes, man. Next year you're getting raided, man. But Gordon, Isaac, Bruno Gomes, maybe. But I was gonna say, lovely.
Oh, I might have to pinch a chip. Sorry, like food interval, never a foul.
No, you're good. But I think just on the game, I think the Newcastle players that are going to leave next year will have too much pride to let Tottenham just walk over them. I think a draw will probably happen, but I think it's too big of a matchup for those players to just let Tottenham walk over them. And I'm not necessarily sure that Tottenham has improved vastly to the point where I think they would turn around the result that much. Not that they haven't improved, but Tottenham's still finishing fifth or sixth.
We'll see how it goes. Against Bournemouth, towards the end, we started being more like ourselves with positive sub until that madness happened right at the end. And then you got man like Cass ringing my phone. You got man like Saeed.
Nah, he wasn't.
You see the clip, bro. You don't see what Saeed TV, bro. I'm live on my little stream, bro. My little Newcastle stream. And you got Saeed with all his followers clipping me live.
Oh, you are funny, man.
I don't even know who was doing that, bro. But I told him back anyway.
Pussy.
Oh, yeah, that's funny. But guys, like I said, keep smash up the likes. 290 likes, we need 300 likes in here and more, and the rest. There's 900 of you in the building. Please make sure you're subscribing as well. There is quite a lot of news flying about, so might even be doing another show.
Osimhen.
But Osimhen
or Toney, man. What's the choice, Dan, man?
Chelsea are looking at, obviously, Jadon Sancho swapped with Sterling, but also you're not finished your business. We've already just said you could get Ivan Toney or Victor Osimhen. That would then sum up what John Obiakol said in terms of Jackson. Let's not get it twisted. He's not the greatest finisher, but I feel like sometimes your team does flow better with him in the side. He works hard and stuff like that. But Ivan Toney, proven 20-goal striker 2 seasons ago. Let's forget last year of what happened. Physical, brings others into play. 28, going into his prime now. And, he wants to, prove himself. He's got one of them mentalities where he don't care what the doubters say. He wants to go there, maybe do what he can do. So Saudi for Toney or Chelsea, or you all in on Victor Osimhen?
Right now, I'd be all in on Victor Osimhen. I understand that Toney's proven himself in the Premier League. I think a couple of things to remember with Ivan Toney is there's a lot of penalty goals. We've already got a penalty taker. So I'd worry there in terms of whether or not he's going to find goals. Last season, I think the return of Ivan Toney was very underwhelming. He was definitely
didn't score in like 12 or 13.
by Wissa and Mbeumo. I definitely think that even that Sade that they have now as well looks like a good player that I don't.
They signed Igor Thiago.
I'm not sure
Club Brugge
Ivan Toney's had the form. I think he had a couple of cameo minutes at the Euros that looked good, but I don't think he was sort of setting the world alight in the opportunities that he had. I just think he was effective in certain situations. For me, I feel like Victor Osimhen, in the attack that we went forward with against Wolves, fits in way better than Ivan Toney. I understand Ivan Toney could be that sort of like target player, the pivot sort of in that counter-attack to hold it up and lay it off to other players to allow them to do the running. But for me, I can see that Victor Osimhen would add pace and running in behind and the physicality in terms of what Toney offers in the penalty area as well. Victor Osimhen with his head aerially in the penalty area.
Whoa, with his what?
Yeah, all right. But you know what I mean? I think he's exceptional in the air in that area as well. So Toney's 28. I think there's been issues away from the football pitch with Ivan Toney that I don't think are good examples to bring to a young team. To be honest with you, we've got a young team at Chelsea, and I'm not sure he's
don't you
always.
think that might be a devil's advocate? You need then a bit of experience that could help.
No, I don't think Ivan Toney has the right level of experience. I don't think he's proven that he does. It was only a season ago he was saying F off Brentford and partying out in Marbella, chatting big time to HS Tiki Toki and then regretting it. And then he's gone and had all that issues in terms of the betting and things like that. Yeah. I think as a player, I think he's a really good fit for the club. But I think as a person, I'm not sure that's the right fit for the dressing room, to be honest with you.
I don't think at Chelsea, he would know better than that. I'm sure he can learn from.
I don't think he's learned. I haven't seen any evidence. Well, I don't know. What evidence have I seen to suggest he's learned? And also, I haven't seen him. By the way, I'm not saying he's a bad footballer because of that reason. I just think Osimhen comes without that baggage, and right now with a young, influential squad, I don't want a player coming in with baggage. I want a player.
But you know what? Let's say he comes in. Yeah. Let's say he comes in. He's already got to know how in the Premier League, innit? So that's one tick in it. If he comes in, hits the ground running, bro. Ain't no one gonna be thinking about all them.
Yeah, but everyone said that about Brentford when he came back after his ban and he didn't hit the ground running.
Exactly.
And you know what?
It's so hard though, mid-season, isn't it?
Okay, but people, it is a bit. But Victor Osimhen missed a huge chunk of the start of last season as well, and he hit the ground running in Serie A. He still got a lot of goals for the amount of games that he played. For me, for the age, for the player, I think I'd probably rather Victor Osimhen.
How much are we looking at him?
If we end up with Toney, I'm not going to moan about the player that we're signing. Do you know what I mean? We're in this unbelievable position right now where it was only a few weeks ago I was questioning us not signing enough players that I felt were going to make Chelsea competitive again. Now we're talking about a discussion between Osimhen and Toney. Is exactly what I want to see Chelsea doing.
It's true, and you got a 28-year-old in Toney, which probably costs, I'll say, 40 million now because Brentford tried holding out for the big money. No one came in. Toney wanted a bigger move. Not saying Chelsea aren't a bigger move, but he wanted the Arsenal that were.
Why is no one gone for it? Why would Spurs sign Solanke over him? There's something there.
But then you've got Osimhen that when you look at now, you've got Osimhen that 120 million Napoli wanted for him last summer. And then now the price has gone down to potentially like a 75 million because they've realized he wants to leave. Lukaku's coming in. And now Napoli are like, well, we're not going to get what we want for him. But we don't want to play at the club, especially under a manager like Antonio Conte that doesn't want to be here. That's never going to work. Them men are going to be parking the other side of the car parks. You don't want that. So when I look at it, there's like pros and cons of Toney. I agree with Specs that he's got the Premier League experience. He's 28. He's got the know-how. And he'll come in with that mentality of actually, do you know what? I want to prove to people that I can play at a top 4 club. Because people like me, I've always had that doubt about Toney.
Also on lower wages, by the way. Which
yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. And like when he was into Man United, I was like, am I fully happy about it? I don't know. But then he got Victor Osimhen that he's got. He can score goals.
We're starving.
Yeah, we are. I can starve more. But we could, Osimhen's gonna get goals. But then also the technical side of him, he's a bit gangly. Like the first touch isn't as great. He's a bit raw. But then. This is how I look at it, and I don't agree with a lot of what Mark Goldbridge says, but he said, look, Chelsea could be away at Fulham. It's 0-0, 77th minute. Osimhen gets half a chance, bags it, 1-0, Chelsea win, take the 3 points. Everyone's talking about Osimhen, not really the performance. I feel like he could do that more than what Toney could when it gets a bit tough in games. How do you see it, Link?
I agree with that. I think that's the big thing with Osimhen versus Toney, but I've always been hesitant to give Toney this prop because I didn't know when the hype really happened. I feel like most of his praise happened after the ban, and he was kind of elevated to this upper echelon of strikers in the Prem. So I've always questioned that. And just looking into it, there isn't anything that Toney really offers more than Osimhen from a statistical standpoint other than creativity. And we know that's a misleading group of stats. So Toney is the fulcrum, and he was the talisman at Brentford. So you saw him create big chances. But with the lineup of people that Chelsea will have around their striker, they don't need their striker. Yeah, they don't need a striker to create chances. They need him to finish them. And that's the whole problem. They need someone different than Jackson.
Oh, wait, sorry, I'm nodding my head because this chocolate's serious.
Oh, I thought he nodded his head.
Sorry, I'm not asked on this as well, like, but and bring it as well. But don't you think with all those talented ballers you got, wingers in that year, don't you think Toney would be perfect? Even as just a target man, just leave him there.
Yeah, but Osimhen's great.
That's what I'm saying. There's nothing Toney does better than Osimhen as a striker. That's my point.
Bro, I was actually taking out my washing. I could hear what you lot were saying because I had it on my
Yeah.
phone. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Dan's hit the nail on the head. Like Osimhen in the box is more of a threat than Toney, in my opinion. When it comes aerially, when it comes to just again those late runs, the pace on him as well, bro. Osimhen's a lot quicker than Toney.
Explosive. He's
Explosive. Yeah. Toney, bro. I watched him. Funny enough. I keep referring back to Dan. I was with Dan Brentford away. And was talking about Toney, yeah, because bro, he was running like he was stuck in the mud.
I think he just come back on, hadn't he? I think he just returned. Like it was one of his first games back from the ban, I think.
Yeah. So he wasn't really looking that quick, like, but like Dan said, listen.
Although he did nearly score a worldie against us.
Nearly. I would take Toney in it. If Toney comes in, it's better than what we have, and I actually rate Toney. I like him, but for long term, what we're looking for long term, I'd rather Osimhen because again he's younger. And I think he can get even better. I don't know if Toney can get much better than what we've seen.
I think what Nick said to me in terms of like getting a chance and just being on there to finish them, Osimhen would do that. He doesn't need to do all that creative stuff. You're right, Link. I think it's Osimhen all day now. I think.
Yeah, I think it's where the Chelsea have held a long-standing interest for so long now in Osimhen.
Yeah, it's been like 4 years.
And I'm not,
it could be a small screen, bro.
I reckon Osimhen brings more shirt sales. Of course, he's instantaneously you could call it. Other than Palmer, I think Osimhen will definitely be that face of
you can
Chelsea.
imagine walking down the street, a
it.
man got Osimhen.
Osimhen and Palmer doing the.
Oh, it opens a whole new market. Opens a whole new market in Nigeria now as well. You know what I'm trying to say? You already know about African players.
Almost reactivates it. You know that. The history you guys have with great African players.
I don't look at Chelsea now. Like why I don't understand the Toney thing as much as Osimhen is because they got players that can keep the ball, hold it up, keep it ticking in the midfield. Let's just call it the final third areas, right? They just need someone that's just in the box, just being a nuisance, in my opinion. Like, look at Mark Zhu. Look at all he had to do was stop getting involved, get in the box, and guess what? You get your chance. They mess up a little bit. Of course, he missed open goal, but just be in the box. You've got all the players and all the tools that you need.
Yeah, but ain't Toney that anyway, though, bro. I'm not saying you should pick him over Osimhen. I'm saying ain't he that anyway.
I think Osimhen is better when it's suited to players.
I don't know how.
More time. Let's say if you want to play like with inverted wing, like inverted forwards, I think that makes more sense and bring them into the play like Marcus Rashford. That's why it makes more sense. But in the case of Chelsea, they got Madueke's and they got who's on the left, Neto, and that. They got players that could do all the carrying all that for them anyways. So it makes, that's why I said with Haaland, have you not seen now he's got Savio and Doku as his future right on the sides?
Yeah,
because,
bro, if you actually watch Osimhen, if you watch this guy, not just what you hear on YouTube and that, the guy is not as bad as what people say on the ball, bro. Like his link-up play is actually decent, right? And what he likes to do as well, he likes to flick it around the corner like Jackson. He can do all of that, right?
I was going to say that.
It might not look pretty, but Osimhen is not as bad as what he's not like a Haaland on the ball. He's better than Haaland on the ball.
If you look at Jackson's movements, Osimhen makes the exact same movements
on the ball as well. Have you seen Haaland some of his one touch, two touch? Actually, was against the whole highlight reel on it against your team. Some of his
he had 3 passes that game. What are you talking about?
No, sometimes his layouts of one touch and goals. Ipswich Town actually a perfect example of it. Go watch it as well. Actually, there's loads of the back end of last season. Haaland's link-up play is not dog shit. Just sometimes it's a bit baggy in it, and it don't look pretty.
But Osimhen for me is better on the
ball. But I think Osimhen falls into that category as well, Cass. I just think he looks unorthodox as a footballer. He doesn't look like a smooth operator, but he actually is effective. Whether he looks like he's comfortable or not, I'm sure he is in his mind.
It's never going to look
exactly right. But I think actually he's not the most clinical striker. There are still opportunities where he can do a lot better, but for his age, I expect him to improve. Whereas Ivan Toney I think he's the finished Ivan Toney at this 28, and I don't see him getting much better.
Yeah, I hear you.
I know what he's about. And I reiterate the point that, look, I know Osimhen's got penalty goals as well, but I think a lot of Ivan Toney's goals for Brentford, I just seem to visualize him being around, like just taking a penalty and scoring that goal.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You can't.
I'm trying to think back to how many moments of brilliance I've seen from maybe I need to sit there, and go through Ivan Toney's clips.
That's a bit harsh, man.
On top of that,
I sat through Osimhen's wide scout, and he's got everything: left foot, right foot, aerial ability, running with the ball, running in behind. I just don't think Toney brings all of that. And also a really important point.
Let me actually. Sorry, I've got an important thing.
One thing I want to say is, I think Toney changes up the style of play if he comes into the team. I think Osimhen is Jackson, but better. And I think if you're trying to keep a similar system, I think he fits into the fluid model more so than I think Toney does.
Yeah.
Okay,
If
let
you
me-
look at Jackson's
Oh,
movement,
go on. I'll go after you.
no,
Nick, and I'm
just
gonna-
sorry. If you look at Jackson's movement and then you replace it with Toney or Osimhen, it's night and day that Osimhen looks better making the runs that Jackson
Okay,
has
yeah,
success in.
I hear that.
I'd still have
I hear
Isak
that.
over
Right.
both, by the way.
Just to add to that, before you come in. Just to add to that,
I
as
think
well,
everybody would.
bro.
I
It's
think
been a
everybody-
minute.
And
It's been a
Middle's
minute.
coming at some point. Trust me.
Before you come in, Ty, bro. It's been a minute since we've had a bastard up top, bro. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
I'm so glad Drogba's done, man.
Hey, Dad,
Diego Costa,
Hey, Dad, imagine we're at the bridge now. We're at the bridge now, yeah.
Costa,
Uncle Victor scores. He takes off his mask. Then the next one is in Cuckoo balloon time. It's celebration over here. You know what I'm trying to say? It's party, man. You know?
I've got a question, right? And
Can we not compare him to Drogba though?
Right.
Because Drogba was actually
Cass,
complete.
let me ask you. I want you to answer.
Drogba was unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Fair.
When you answer this,
Go
then
on.
Specs, and then Link, and then the Chelsea guys can come at the end, right? If Chelsea go and get Sancho in with a swap, that's right wing sorted, right? If they go and get Victor Osimhen, don't matter how much it is, he's just at the club, 70 million, whatever it is. They've got a defender which we know is like picking up the pace and that. Could people go out there and actually say Chelsea should be competing more for the title than anything else?
You know what? Yeah, I look. I know
I've got to ask the question.
people are going to spend up talk about money. Yeah, first and foremost, of course
Got
they
to
should.
ask
They
the
spent this
question.
amount of money. But I think this has been quite an objective panel.
No,
So
I've got to ask
it's
you-
been
I
quite
need
an
to ask
objective
questions,
panel.
I
So
hope.
I'll keep it more. More.
Should Chelsea be
More
challenging for the
context. Let's
title?
put some more
Sancho and Osimhen are right.
It's sticky time, sticky
I'm not saying
questions.
they will, but should that be the ambition?
I think that's always. I
Yeah.
think that's the ambition. I think Don said it earlier. The owners are clearly showing ambition through the players they're trying to acquire, anyways. And if you add Osimhen to that, I'm not being funny. I don't see a weakness bar the defense, which can be tweaked enough or helped enough throughout the year, throughout the whole obviously footballing year.
Get your super
But
chats in for this.
I think it wouldn't be. I don't think it would be stupid to say that can Chelsea
you wouldn't
go
be saying
and
top because you're not going to
ride
top
the
four,
wave?
are you?
Can they ride the wave in a challenge but not actually get over the line?
Yeah.
I think probably if they can keep the things. We need to see more of a sample size from Wolves against. They got Palace next. Let's see if they roll them over. And then the next game after that they got whoever else. I'm not too sure, to be fair, in Chelsea's fixture list.
Wolves are like my favourites to get relegated, by the way. So I think
That was.
Now, let's
Chelsea,
not get
Chelsea had
relegated.
an easy
But
opportunity.
I'm not being funny.
Don't concentrate.
How
man.
are we allowed
Not
in a
Wolves.
world of
Nah,
football?
not Wolves,
I know
not
that.
Wolves.
I think
No, I'm on about stay on topic with this question.
I
We're
think
not
Ashworth.
deviating.
I think with
Oh.
Ashworth, with wanting. I think Ashworth is the driving force of wanting Sterling more than anything. But I think it's you're not allowed to put Sancho and Osimhen comes in, but Madueke, you're hitting bench. I'm sorry. I just think of Sancho creating for Haaland. It's the same fucking thing. It's the same thing. So Madueke is there's questions if he can keep his form up or not. But Sancho, he could definitely. Yeah, that's loud.
The thing is,
Right now, I haven't seen Sancho
I
perform like
think
Madueke in the Premier League as of yet.
I think Sancho will be more of a creative winger for us, and then Madueke will be more of a bagsman for us.
Yeah,
That's what I reckon.
I see Sancho playing on the right more time than the left, more than the
Yeah,
left.
that's what I want to see him.
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah.
want to see him.
What do you think
Hold
with
on.
the question I asked?
No.
Because you were frowning.
No, I'm going to go to Cash first. He said something.
Because this is why I've got Chelsea above Liverpool, and I got shot down for it.
No, one sec, Cash. You just said something, and it alarmed my brain. You said, like,
Bro,
by
I
the
don't
way,
want to be. I don't want to get. I don't have no brain from you. What you on about, bro? The nasty guy.
come on, man. Come on. Brother,
Nasty guy, man.
cool.
Go on,
Second, brother,
man.
second. By the way, he said about, let's see if he can keep his form up and all this madness, bro. Bruv, Sancho ain't got no form, bruv. He's dead out at Man United, bruv. So what makes you think the narrative is going to change by going to Chelsea, bro? Which is always chopping and changing anyway. So he can't settle anyway.
Are you asking?
Just
He's
played the
asking
Champions League final for Dortmund,
I mean, in
though.
the Premier League, bro.
he's asking me the
Bro, in
question.
the Premier
Yeah.
League,
Yeah, do you want me to answer your question? Because sometimes, Specs, as much as you're blind about your glasses, there's
Bro?
sometimes wax in your ears
Bro?
still, brother.
I heard you clearly.
When I said
I
the
heard you
thought,
clearly.
I said a key word, the thought of Sancho, like he was back at Dortmund with the whole Haaland thing. I think of the same way towards in Chelsea. I think Sancho would suit a Chelsea more than the ping pong type ball at United, trying to win the ball higher up. But Chelsea's more possession based and can find, pockets of space for creative wingers to actually thrive in, aka Neto, Felix, and at this moment in time, I can probably add Sancho to that. Again, the question over Sancho is obviously valid from you, so we'll see if he can get that form. But if he suits a team right now, it would probably be Maresca's team.
Cool. And to the question that Ty was saying, what did you say, bruv? That should be asking the question if Chelsea should be going for the title or pushing for the title? Which one would you say?
Either way, really, should their ambitions and their aims be looking at the title more than top four?
But Ty, this is the thing though. Now people are asking those questions. Now you're seeing the likes of what's that guy called? The guy who's playing for Tottenham, O'Hara, yeah. Now saying, oh, I reckon Chelsea can compete in that, yeah. This is what I'm saying, bro. When I was saying these things earlier, I said, bro, with the right additions, and if we can keep our guys fit, I reckon we can compete. Me and Cass, I can vouch for Cass. Cass said the same thing. People trying to talk to me like I'm crazy.
Laughing like it's
no, I'm not laughing like in a malicious way. Because trust me, bro, I'm hating, bro. I wish Newcastle could go out. Newcastle finishing
12th, and he knows it.
Now they're seeing you add Osimhen to this and you add Sancho to this. Bearing in mind we already have Nkuku. Bearing in mind we already have Neto. Bearing in mind we already have Felix. Bearing in mind we already have Palmer. I can keep going, bro.
Yeah, the attack's crazy.
We can keep going. Yeah. Now people are looking at it and say, "Oh, you have to challenge with that." Yeah. So why was it crazy when I was saying these things before?
No, but
how was it crazy when I was saying these
things?
Compete
and win is two separate things, by the way.
You're omitting context.
Exactly, Ty. Exactly, Cass. Sorry, exactly.
Let's not get carried away, though.
You're omitting context, though.
Carried away just yet. I hear what you're saying. Though. Obviously, you got to look at your team and think, you know what? Why not? You get me? You got all these players. Because even before, when Chelsea was stinky, when you finishing 12th and all that, you still had the players where you should be competing realistically at them times. You get me? So I hear what you're saying, but I just think, don't you think getting carried away just a little bit? Don't you think you should, with Osimhen over at Osimhen, that do you think give some time?
What it is for me, Specs, yeah. If we find ourselves in a position with Osimhen, for example, and we're competing, I want to go win the league, right? But the expectation I've put on the team this season is to get back into top 4, right? Win me the Conference League and compete for all the other trophies. Hopefully we get back to Wembley as well, because this time I want to go there and actually fucking win the trophy. But I'm not going to come out here and just look at football on paper and say, oh, we've got a competing team, let's now go win the league. It don't work like that for me, bro. I need to see these men stay fit first, like the key players I think can do it for us. And at the same time, I need to see Maresca build the team. And obviously these guys need to settle in. Do you get it? It'll be very... what's the word? Unrealistic for me to just come and say, yeah, we're now going to compete, bro. We need to build our team first, bro.
Yeah, that's fair. I hear it. Guys, make sure you are running up the likes. 1,000 of you in here. Please make sure you keep smashing. Let's get to 500, man. We're on 350. An extra 150 likes from 1,000 of you that are in here. I know that don't cost nothing. All you can do now is just hit the thumb. It helps us reach new audiences, and we're giving you great football talk right now. Going to go on to the last topic as well, guys, which is Ugarte, Man United. Cass? It's simple as this, really. Does Ugarte solve Man United's midfield problems?
One of them. Just the fact that, it's athleticism and actually ball carrying. That's one thing that it solves. And obviously just high energy. Unfortunately, we want to play ping pong football. So yeah, man, like I think it solves one problem, but it doesn't solve the overall issue for what I value in football and what I like in a midfield. AKA, this is why I don't like a certain one there. If you got one athletic player like a guy, I think you need another one on top of that. But in this case, Manu doesn't offer much off the ball for 90 minutes. He does in like a period of 60 minutes.
Facts.
The thing is,
people don't want to hear it, but it's true. You can't run.
The thing is, he'll cover a lot of ground. I think there's one case that you can see where Casemiro getting back is don't bother. So on that note, is Ugarte is going to be there. People think he's not good at retention. The thing is, he's just safe. He's a destroyer. He can play box to box. He doesn't play forward enough though. But I think that's okay. That's what Man United don't. They don't really care. As long as they can keep overloading and creating situations, that's where I look at it. I was going to ask Mr. Link, like, what does he think? Because I'm looking at tweets of him hoping that he was in for Ugarte, and also he said no Ugarte for Man United on the 5th of August. So I want to know if Mr. Link right here wants to apologize.
I'm here. Apologize for what?
For talking.
Apologize
for not.
What were my words? Because I say so many things. So what was the one?
Are we in for Ugarte? Are we in for Ugarte? You was hoping. That's what I call hopium. And the second one is like no Ugarte from Man United with laughing faces. Apologize now.
Did I put any emojis with the "Are we in for Ugarte?" or did I just
no. You know, it is sometimes you can read a chat enough with you because you're Mr. Link and you've got the most baitest picture I've ever seen on all platforms. So I know what you're saying. You wish you had a Ugarte. You wish you had a destroyer.
No, I don't.
It's all right, man. You don't even have a 6. Your
You don't
6 is
need to
on the
destroy.
Salzburg, bro. The
We're
fake
still going
Bundesliga.
to smash you this weekend.
You're not doing
Oh my
shit.
God. We are smashing you. We are
I
going to
swear
play
on
through
my,
you
I
and around
swear
you.
you're not smashing no one. The only thing you're
You
smashing
know how to
is your
spell
meat blood.
evisceration? You know
I
how to
don't
spell
lie, yeah.
evisceration?
You see how I'm seeing Liverpool attacking in that final third, the little patterns I'm seeing, bruv.
Yes.
Yeah. Basically,
People
I'm
are
gonna ask
people
you a
are
question.
seeing
Let me ask you
slot
a
ball.
question. I'm gonna ask you a
Okay.
question. Yeah, I want just quick one, and we can actually talk on a guy if people rate it or not. What's the
Okay.
difference between Slot's ball and Ten Hag's ball when he first joined Manchester United? Let me know.
Do you want me to fully break it down, or
I wish. Go on. I wish. Go on. Do it. Do it.
okay? So you guys haven't learned how to press in 3 years, so that's the first thing. So we know how to
by the
press.
way. I was at the games, but you know, I
Not
think Tiger
not
likes
the
that, but go on.
man-to-man running that you guys still do. That's not pressing. That's Mason
Continue.
Mount and Bruno running with their head cut off. So
That's
we actually know
Ten
we
Hag's
have.
first season, by the way. We didn't have Mount.
Yeah. Okay. We don't just sit back and counterattack. We actually want the ball, and we actually want teams to come onto us. You guys were looking to counterattack in space, and so you sat with this super low block and hoped for a bunch of crosses.
No, we
That
didn't.
team was atrocious. That team was atrocious. It's still the same team, and that's why you guys are hyping up all these transfers that you have in now.
That's not the thing. I said, what's the difference between Ten Hag ball and Slot ball from his first season? I'm just saying it's not different. Counter attack, long ball, in pick moments, and transition.
So
That's
you're
what
comparing
Ten
a
Hag was.
50-game season of counterattacking
It's the same
football
thing.
to us
It's the
having
same- it's the same
a
thing.
mid block.
Do you know what? It's a style, but you know what? It's Man United. We used to get Kane for it, and now I'm calling it out
But
2
we
years later.
play.
You know what I mean?
We actually have a style of play that you can see. When we're in attack in the final third, you can see a plan. Don has watched 2 games of us and already can see that. People have been looking at Ten Hag's offense and wondering what is the idea for the last 3 years, and it still hasn't changed. You can see what we're doing. We actually train it. We can do rondos. We've actually tweaked how we do our rondos because our players have touches, unlike Man U players. So
Don't start chatting about rondos though. In terms of what people are doing in terms of tactics on a football pitch. Come on,
I'm talking.
No.
I'm making the difference between Ten Hag and Slot.
No.
Look,
I'll tell you right now, every team in the Premier
ahead,
League is
Dan.
doing rondos in training. So it's just a load of bollocks in terms of tactics.
So
You know what,
So
yeah, and
the
one
videos
thing-
we saw of Man U's rondos last year.
In rondos in training into tactical evidence of what you're seeing on a football pitch. You're making a really good point. I think the 2 key things for me are the quality in Liverpool's team and the players that they've got that have been part of title-winning teams that are still there. And I think there's a fluidness to their play that I don't think we've seen Manchester United do under Ten Hag in the 3 years that he's been there. In moments, but I think Liverpool in 2 games, I think have shown a fluidness that I don't think Manchester
In
United
2
have.
halves.
It's
In
much,
halves.
it's much more possession based
In
now for
halves.
Liverpool. The build up slow.
Yeah, I just think
they're on the
Liverpool
ball
in that
halves.
amount of time in 2 games look like they're playing in a way that looks more convincing than I've seen Manchester United
in what
doing.
way
3
is it?
years.
How can it be convincing when it's against a newly promoted side in the first half looking like that? So the second half FC bullshit. Yeah. Second of all, who actually thought Brentford were gonna play expansive ball at Anfield? Are you naive or are you thick?
I think Liverpool have changed.
Sunday is around the corner.
I think that Liverpool have changed their style. They're slower on the ball with the build up. Their possession more based now. The players are getting more touches. I feel like it's more controlled. It's less chaotic now. I can't lie. I see the slots coming in and doing his thing.
They're cutting through the team.
But
when
do
they
you want
play
to
as well.
know what I've realized? What they're doing, Liverpool being so much more patient in the build-up that actually teams are getting a bit more frustrated. They frustrate teams to come and press them, and then they're
exactly
just
what it is.
McAllister's bang through the lines. And Liverpool, I have to respect it. I see what Slot's doing, but I still hope we fuck you up on Sunday.
So there's a couple themes. It is hope. It's all hope. But there's a couple themes that you'll see all year for us is press baiting, where we're going to have the ball in between the center backs, and sometimes we'll go to Alisson to try and draw you out. And instead of what we used to do is isolate Salah and say, you have all this space, go attack it, do whatever. Now we are intentionally isolating the opposition wing backs. So that's where we're going to torch you, because Dalot is not going to be able to handle that.
Why not? He's done it in his first 2 games. Actually, so did Mazraoui.
Because it's going to be 1v1. We overload that.
Brighton tried to do the exact same thing as you just said, through dunk and stuff like that.
Are we Brighton?
Yeah, bro, I'm not gonna lie. They also play long ball now and also try to go and do all that force that error. They've tried that in actually our game. Mazraoui and Dalot's been solid in the last 2 games if we're going off of that notice. So go on
again, but you're comparing Brighton's wingers to Mo Salah.
I got told that Dingra and Matoma and all these men are madmen on the ball.
The only thing I
That's
want to say
fine.
back at you.
I think I got an assist against you,
Do
mate.
you know what? No,
Yeah, but that was
wait,
off
you know
a-
what,
off
you
a
know-
moment.
and you know
That's
me,
not on
you
a
know me,
1v1
you know me.
moment.
I'm level-headed, Don, but I have to say to Mr. Link, right, is that I respect it. You're being very confident. You're going to smash us, this and that. I ain't going to say that because Man United Liverpool's are a big rival.
No,
right?
realistically, we don't. We play to the occasion. We play to the occasion. I'm not. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Don't
Go
back
ahead.
chat now. Yeah. You would have probably said the same thing last year. You came to the FA Cup and lost to us at Old Trafford.
knew you were gonna say
You lost
that.
to us.
I knew you were
So,
gonna go there.
you know,
Mhm.
and we're probably
Go
better
ahead.
now than what we were last year. So don't come and say you're gonna smack. Come on,
No,
Link,
but
man.
this
Come
is the
on.
thing. This is the thing. There,
Do better, man.
clip me up. Clip me up. So this is what I say. Yes,
Do
Liverpool
better.
players play to the occasion. However, my manager is miles ahead of yours, so you can clip that too. That's the first thing I'll say.
In
Second-
what miles ahead in what
I wouldn't say that just yet, but
yeah, would you say that? Yeah, well, I don't understand. Where have you got
We
that?
will see Sunday. So miles ahead, right? Take that for what you want. And then we play a different style of play that won't play into your hands as much. That's the whole thing. You guys love to counterattack, and now the basketball, back and forth football is going to be minimized just even the smallest amount. And so
You got
in
a lot
theory,
of faith in Gravenbitch, you know.
But yeah, I was going to say that,
It's
Kaz.
not-
There's a huge area of weakness in Liverpool's squad, and it is in that defensive midfield area.
They think
And
Gravenbitch is
if
good because against a
if Ten Hag sets up in the way that he did and has
Hey, that
already
could
done
be on
this
guard,
season
What-
with Bruno Fernandes playing in that sort of false role, Bruno
watch this
could
confidence
be
player fold,
key
man.
in making sure that game is difficult for Liverpool.
And I will
because they're-
start Xerxes.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
by
Liverpool-
the way,
their
last
defensive
3
midfield area is
games
gonna be
against
an issue
Liverpool,
against
actually,
United.
bar the not so much the league game at Old Trafford. Man, who's run your midfield, bro. That's the fact. On
Yeah,
his
you-
on his Jays.
But would you argue that Liverpool's midfield looks better this season though? It's looked better so
Thank
far.
you.
though.
So
It's
early
looked better,
to
Don,
go.
but I
Again,
just
the
think
football's
that
a better
that
team,
defensive
but I
midfield
agree.
area.
Structure.
No, the defensive midfield area, you can't question that's an issue for
And
Liverpool.
also
this
that,
season.
and
Of
also
course,
that,
I
you know
agree,
what-
I
you know-
agree.
do you know what it is? You know what it is? Liverpool, I've given them flowers. They're changing their style of play. I said they're being more patient and stuff like that. But let's be real.
They done the
They
same
play
thing for
against
Endo.
Twitch and they play Brentford actually against the top team. I'm not just throwing United, but I'm not saying United, Tottenham, whoever. They haven't been tested yet. So we will see.
You lost to
That's what I said-
Brighton.
That's what I said
You
earlier.
just
Ty. I
lost
said,
to
Who-
Brighton.
I don't want
Who
to
we
talk
should have
about Brighton. We talk about Liverpool and your midfield being all this and that. I'm saying you haven't
wait,
been
Mr. Link,
tested
Mr. Link, yeah, Mr. Link and Ty.
Yeah.
I said the exact same thing
Because Mr.
earlier.
Link
I
on
said, for
Sunday,
me,
you might make your breath stink. You get
I
me?
said,
You gotta see.
I said for me, Liverpool still haven't got a DM like what Dan's saying. So
Yeah.
I'm interested to see
In
how they're gonna
moments, how
do.
they deal with that.
Yeah, when they get to the bigger sides that have the more balanced midfields. Because look, Man
Yeah.
United at the weekend can play a balanced midfield. They can play.
We should have
Mainly,
won on the
they
weekend.
can play
Let's be real. We could be
Casemiro,
sitting here now
and they
with
can
6
play
points.
Bruno. Yeah, you can
Is
play.
that a balanced
Yeah.
midfield? Is that a balanced midfield though? 35-year-old Casemiro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got it. Might start.
I doubt it.
Doubt
Like,
it.
that's what I was gonna. Is the Ugarte going to start?
Yeah,
This
but
was my
I
thing.
don't mind it.
Nah,
Man U
you
fans don't rate their current midfield as its current construction. That's my thing. Casemiro's too
I
old
agree
unless
with
he
that.
scores on a set piece. Like
Yeah.
this is my thing. If you guys have a chance, it'll be a counter or a set piece. So maybe you start
Casemiro's not in
Casemiro.
that team for goals, though, is he? We're not putting.
Is he though? He is. He's their best set piece threat at this point.
Yeah, but the difference
He
is
is
though,
in
when
the
you
team
have-
for
when you
goals.
have
I
a-
don't think Casemiro in Ten Hag's mind is in that team for goals.
Yeah, but the
I don't
difference is
think he
I get what you're saying.
We've seen Liverpool full strength, yeah, at this moment in time, like as in the players that they got on the first 11, right? Can we agree on that? Yeah, that's the team you're gonna play. Yeah, there's no other.
That's our
players
first
gonna come
11.
on. So
Yeah.
Man United this time coming with the Ligt this time, and also Xerxes this time, which is a little bit more balanced than what we've seen with Maguire. We have to drop off 5 yards because Maguire ain't got the pace, and also with Mason Mount, he's just a pressing monster. I've never known someone that gets praised so much because he's fucking good off the ball. It's insane.
Gallagher,
But anyways,
Gallagher.
yeah, basically, but a more attacking version potentially. Like that's the way I'm looking at it like that. And of course, if you're chasing the game and we decide we just want to shut up shop now because we're gonna bring back the old like the whole Fred and Casemiro pivot this time with Ugarte, you're fucked. So and this notice, you know what it is. We know what it is. This sounds like United fans a little bit when we got overly gassed in the first season, and this sounds like Liverpool fans when you said you was gonna wash us in the league and FA Cup, and you got ran over.
And on that note,
There's some tactical changes that won't help you out with that. I don't know if you looked at Trent's heat map.
Hey, I can't wait
over
to
the
see
weekend.
the preview with Mons as well, bro. Where is Mons? Where is
He's
that
back.
guy?
He's
Yeah,
back.
he's on the way back
He's
from
on his
Cardiff.
way back from London now. He's
Yeah,
been
yeah.
But
We lost
it's gonna be interesting because overall, I think Ugarte, like coming into Man United, I think it helps us, but I don't think it solves the problem. I think he's combative. He gets around the pitch. He's gonna make interceptions, and I think it will help us when we've got Yeleni Yoro and Martinez, and it's a higher line because then the gaps aren't as big, and he can press around like a dog. But at times, I think he's gonna leave some space open. And the one big thing for me, and Don always knows this from streaming me from time, I said, Michael Carrick to be one of the most underrated players in the Premier League, and we've never replaced him. We've tried the Schneidlins, Fellaini, Schweinsteigers, Matic's, Fred's come in. There's been different type of players that have tried the number 6 role and it's not worked. I want someone that could come in and control games and keep it calm when it's needed to be calm. And Ugarte doesn't give me, I'm going to keep it calm for you. It's still going to be a bit chaotic, but he's just got more legs than Casemiro. So in some games it's going to work, in other games it won't, and that's where I'm a bit worried.
Tired. For me, the whole guy thing.
We got dogs. We got dogs.
Yeah.
We got Lissandro.
Hold on.
And these man, they're dogs. Them man don't have dogs. Them man got bitches. There's not enough physicality in Liverpool's side.
You sound low key nervous.
They got bitches. I'm not me.
You sound low key nervous because
I almost bit.
You seem like the lit and all that, bro. For me, the lit is finished, bro. I don't know what this hype is.
Man, finished.
When's the last time Man U broke down the mid block?
He's got more titles than all your squad.
Hold on.
I came with the soul, bro.
The lit ain't getting my.
The lit's not for you, bro.
I prefer Burn over the lit, bro. I'll keep Burn over the lit, bro. The lit is that.
Don't lie to yourself, Specs. Specs, don't lie. Stop. You're on camera. Specs.
I finish. You talk for ages, bro.
He's still there.
You are on camera.
This guy.
The lit is deader and he's finished. Ugarte, him there or not, bro. Same old shit for Man United. And what I want to ask you, now we're going through all the details on this and pivots and all this shit. I just want to know, deep down, honestly, Cass and Ty, do you honestly believe come Sunday, Man United are going to win, bro?
How about this? My eyeballs are going to be glued to the pitch whilst I'm in the stadium. And we're winning.
And what gives you that spirit and energy to think, you know what? Because to me, Liverpool
last year,
hold on.
Out the window. It's Man United.
At Old Trafford.
No, I know this, bro. Come on, I know this, bro. That's the first thing. I know this. It's a derby, and trust me, you don't know what's gonna happen. The last game, all the FA Cups and all that, that was great for Man United, but Liverpool should have finished their dinner. This time round, to get the chances, they're finishing their dinner, bro. I'm just saying.
Wait, hold on.
Let me finish, bro.
Wait, at Old Trafford.
We gave you that win. We gave you that win. We were trying for 5-minute spans at a time.
I'm just saying your defense, bro. I'm not too sure about Man United's defense just yet, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I feel Liverpool will punish Man United, and I think your attackers. There's no one from Man United that I look at and say, that's a scary guy. You get me, like a Haaland, like an Isak. You know what I'm saying?
Give Xerxes his respect.
I don't give Xerxes respect.
That's why I asked you, like on a honest level, do you really feel you can get?
I feel like we can get a result definitely in the game. I think we can.
Yes, versus you're right back.
There's no we can. It's more like we will at Old Trafford. That's it. Why am I scared of Liverpool?
Possibilities.
Deep it. Other than Salah, obviously. And maybe Jota here and there before he gets injured.
We keep naming the rest of them.
The thing is, your DM is a confidence merchant. As soon as he hears that crowd, have you not noticed how Gravenberch goes a little bit missing when there's a loud crowd until it tones down? No one ever noticed that last year. Please respect.
Notice how we're not talking about tactics and attributes. It's intangibles.
We'll say that because
we're talking about intangibles.
We'll do a show.
There is no logical basis behind Man U beating Liverpool this Sunday.
There is a lot of basis. There's a lot of basis.
No, logical.
My logical base, if you're going to go with it, since Ten Hag's been in charge, you've only beat us once.
Okay, we have a new manager. Clap tax.
And that's even worse.
Clap tax.
Oh, so wait, hold on. Oh, wait, if you're saying that.
Pep Linders tax.
Slot's a better manager. Slot's a better manager.
Let me say this. No. Because all these rival fans say this. Klopp was not doing anything as far as the head coach the last 18 months. It's been Pep Linders. Pep Linders offered his wages for the year to put Trent in this inverted role. And so Pep has been running sessions and coaching for the last 18 months. Klopp was just there as a dad. So I will 100% say that Slot is a better coach than Pep Linders.
How about this? Most assistant coaches do the coaching at their teams. Have you ever noticed that? People do put the input.
Okay, so my assistant coach is not better than my new head coach.
So by the way, if that's the case, don't hype up your Premier League that you won and your Champions League. That's your assistant coaches that won that, not Klopp.
What? No, that's a Prem. What do you mean? A
No, what do
Prem's
you
a
mean? What do you
Prem.
mean? No. He don't do no coaching. Clock tax.
But I'm not. This has nothing to do with the manager. The Prem is the Prem. I'm going to rep the Prem in the Champions League regardless of the manager because the manager isn't.
Man
permanent.
said you heard it first. Slot's a better manager than Klopp because it's Klopp tax. But go on.
On that
This
note,
guy.
I'm going to do the super chats. I'm going to wrap it. We're going to save it because we're going to do a preview probably for the game anyway. There's a lot of football. You know, it's a lot of transfer stuff that can still happen. It's been a great show. Big up Dan every time for coming on as well. Always respectable. Big up, man. Chelsea fan. Go and make sure you check out his stuff and his content. Mr. Link as well. Big up, man. The first time myself doing a show with you. Obviously, Cass links up with you regular, but it's show love every time. Big up, Link. And then obviously Specs, my brother as well. Love every time, Tim. Make sure you go and check out his channel as well. Newcastle content, but also generic football content as well. Gonna go through the super chats quickly. Shane Bapu says Toney at Arsenal would be scary settings. I'm not too sure. I think Isaac could be better fit next summer. Shane Bapu says Chelsea better move. Arsenal are coming hunting. Interesting. And then Donny LFC says, please be a close game. But what I noticed about United is they took off their extra midfielder and put a striker on. They lose control. Then it's easy to cut through them. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens on Sunday at Old Trafford, Man United, Liverpool. But guys, we've been talking about Raheem Sterling and the Sancho swap. Ugarte, Man United does it solve the midfield. Toney or Osimhen to Chelsea. Make sure you like, subscribe, and we will definitely catch you.
This is going
on
to another
the other
channel,
side.
so go subscribe over there. They don't have many subscribers, so we're blessing them. Just go say NAF Raid. 800 of you could just go in there and just say, you know
And
what?
make sure you like the video as well
Yeah,
before
man.
you go. Yeah, big up everyone.
Oh, and me and Joe have a stream tonight at in 3.5 hours. So I don't know what time it is. So 11 o'clock your time.
11 o'clock UK time.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
wicked.
Yeah,
Big up,
last
guys.
word.
Love every time.